Alright, so we've seen how to represent tables and also the relationship between them in an ER diagram. Tables are the squares, relationship is the diamond, table names are whatever they're called in your database, and the relationship name could just be a descriptive verb. But don't forget, when you're mapping these out, or the one thing we haven't done yet is actually add the fields. So let's take a quick look at this one, and then we'll just put the fields on there, which you need to do in an ER diagram. So we got a books table, we got an authors table. There's a relationship there, right? An author writes a book. So I have books written by, or you could have author writes, whatever word you want to put in there to describe that. Again, we look at this, we kind of figure out, let's say for the sake of this example, an author can write many books, right? So we got one to many. One author might write many books. We could argue that one book might have more than one author, but let's just say for simplicity's sake, for the sake of this example, a book has one author, but an author might write many books, so that's how we got the one on this side and the lowercase n for the many over here. So once we figure that out, we do need to remember to add our fields, right? Remember, the fields are the little oval symbols. So we've got our table names, we've got our relationship, and then however many fields there are, and there could be a lot more than 3 or 4, but we need to create an oval, connect it to each table for all the fields, and don't forget to designate the primary key with the underlining. So that's really a full ER diagram as far as a simple, straightforward one, and for the purposes of what we're trying to learn. That has our tables, our fields, our primary keys, and our relationship. But let's look at one more example here. So let's say we have these two tables, right, annotated in that kind of notation way. So we got a malls table, and in each mall there are a bunch of stores. So we got a malls table and a stores table. So we got some fields in each: mall name, street, city, state. In the stores, we've got the name of the store, the mall that it's in, and the type of store. Maybe it's a shoe store or whatever. So those are our two tables. So let's see how we get from that to the ER diagram. So we've got a square for the table name, right? We got a malls table, so we need a rectangle for that. There are all of its fields inside the ovals. Don't forget to put the primary key when you're doing this, right? So that takes this and represents it in sort of ER diagram form here. Same thing over here. We got the second table and its fields, right? So we're just taking whatever we see here and drawing the proper shapes in our ER diagram. We got our stores table, our 3 fields, primary key, and then the whole purpose of the ER diagram to include the relationship, if there is one, with the diamond, and some kind of verb. So I just said malls have stores. And again, we can think about it and figure that one mall might have many stores. So that's how I designated the one and the many on this one. So going back just one step here, if we start with this, right, we need a square and some ovals for this, a square and ovals for that. So that's pretty straightforward from the notation form to the ER diagram, and then the relationship between them with the diamond symbol. So this is taking those two tables that we see here and creating an ER diagram based on that.